Okay, well, so we left off with being able to move a quadratic around. So that was this. Now let's add some quadratic data, or data that might be quadratic. It looks close enough anyway. Um, so we'll go here, and I just have some data, and I'll just highlight it here. Um, See that we have our X and our Y. So I'll try to highlight it. There we go. And I'll do a Control C to copy it. And I'll just click in here in Desmos and do a Control V to paste, and it just pastes it right in there, and there are the data. So I'm going to kind of move it up here. Now, as I look at those data, yeah, they look kind of like a parabola. And so if I'm going to try to fit a model to that, then what I need to do is probably get the vertex right in here somewhere. Well, there's 4, so I want to move it over to the right by 4 from 0, and B again was that. So I'm going to come over here, try 4, and then this value, I could zoom in a little bit here to see it better. There's 1, there's 2, it looks like maybe 1.1-ish is about right there. And so that's my C, and I'm going to come down here to 1.1. Whoops, maybe I am. There we go. And there's right on the dot. Now, that may or may not need to stay there. But now, what I need to do is get it the right width. I need it wider. So wider will be a smaller a. And notice that, as I do this, now it's really hard to kind of move this around. So I could either move it more slightly by just typing in. So here's a 0.1. And that looks pretty good, except most of my data are up above the curve, so maybe I need to raise it up a little bit. Maybe I need to move it to the right a little bit. It doesn't have to go right through that point. And so, I could try that with the 0.1. I could also, try making it 0.11, which makes it a little less wide. And now, that point is a little below it. These are above. So it, I still think it probably needs to at least move up a little. And so I'm going to come back down here. I'm just going to move it up by 1.5 like that. And now, as I do that, it's starting to have kind of data on both sides. And it looks like it's a little too wide over here, but just about right there. But yeah, maybe I need to move it over just a little bit. So I'm going to try 4.1. And now, it's starting to look a little better. I'm going to even go 4.2. And now, see, that point's very close. These points are very close. It's a little too wide there, a little too narrow there. That looks pretty good. Yeah, this isn't bad. 2 points below there, a point below there, and then some in the middle here or above, and there above. Because I want about maybe half the points-ish, somewhere around half-ish of the points, to be above, about half to be below. It's, for us, it's not an exact science. It's just kind of looking at it, trying to get that to match. I could get rid of this one just by turning that off, because I don't really need the base one anymore. And so I'm looking at this, and I could play with it a little more. I could maybe take it up just a little bit more. I'm going to try 1.2. And And the reason I did that, it just made these a little closer, those a little farther, but you know, the points are all starting to look kind of similar on each side of this thing, and I think I'm pretty happy with that. And so, what I've come up with, and I'll just hit enter here to be able to put a new one in, is I have y equals 0.11 times x minus 4.2 squared, all squared, plus 1.2. Now I can write that out. Y equals, I don't necessarily need to, but 0.11 x minus 4.2. But now if I wanted to show this to somebody, it would be much more plain that this is what I have, and then plus 1.2. And so there we go. There's, there's my model, and I got it right on that line, and it looks pretty good. The vertex is here at x equal 4.2, y equal 1.2, and I made it a bit wider by going with the 0.11. So there we go, and there I've modeled some quadratic data.